to our new video. And in this video, we are going to talk about soft skills that every QA should have. It's not just about the freshers, but it inclined to everyone who ever who is in the testing field. Okay, so let's begin. And I'm not saying that the technical skills are not that important. No, technical skills are important. Okay, they are. It is essential. You should know about technical skills, but apart from technical skills, your soft skills are also important. Okay, so let's just go through it. What are all those soft skills that everyone should have, and how you can master those things? Okay, so like I said, soft skills are essential, but why these soft skills matter? First, it helps you in growing your career. Okay, so like when you start as a fresher and you move up to the you know ladder, you become senior QA, team lead, and manager, and whatever. So if you are good in communication skill, it will help you to communicate effectively with your team. It will help you to get aligned with your team, uh, manage your team, right? Second, if you're good with the communication, or if you're good, these skills that we are talking about here, soft skills, not just communication skills, but other also that we will discuss. So all these things will help, right? uh, in like as I said, it help you grow as a leader, right? And also it helps you as a QA when you discuss about the requirements, when you understand your product, when you ask the right questions. So it helps in your testing and all these things. Okay, so let's see what are those skills that QA should require as a soft skill. Okay, so first is communication skill. Now communication skill is not just about how you talk. Okay, it's more than that. And what I'm talking about here is how effective you communicate in your bug reporting. Okay, how effective you write anything, right? Effective written communication means how effective you write anything means how effective you write your test cases, your mail, your messages. Okay, uh, messages means not I'm talking about text messages, but whatever you communicate through any means of channel, either mail or messages in like Slack, Team, whatever you use. How do you report, how do you frame or write your test cases? All these things matter. So communication is not just about talking, it's more than that, right? How do you write a clear bug report? So bug report, I have already created one video. I'll share the link of that in description. You can go and watch that, where I have discussed briefly about bug reporting. Okay, here we are just talking about the soft skills, so I will not go deep into that. Like I said, so how do you write your bug report? Should be descriptive. Okay, I mean there should be a description in that, all the logs, steps, all these things, right? And how do you write your test case? Okay, and informative emails, improve clarity and prevent misinterpretation, right? So whatever you report, whatever you communicate, it should be clear. Okay, it should not be like uh, you know uh, I mean, your stakeholders or your team leaders or managers should be able to understand what you are trying to say, what you are trying to communicate to them. Okay, if a feature is not working, how you communicate, you should emphasize on the impact of that issue, right? So all these things needs to be communicated. Second is collaboration and teamwork. Like how do you collaborate with others? Because as a QA, you have to work with your own QA team, then developers, some managers, sometimes users, Okay, so as a QA, you have to work with all these people, and how effective you collaborate with them, right? It helps a lot, right? So as a QA, you should align with all these teams very effectively, right? Um, Second, meeting participation. Suppose if you are in a meeting, how active you are in that meeting. Okay, it's not just that you should attend a meeting, you just listen, and then if you have any doubt, if you have any query, if you want to say something, say it, ask. Okay, don't hesitate. Okay, because this will help you in grow. Okay, it will help you to understand things, it will help you to grow in your career, not just in the software testing part, but in your career, right? And be approachable. Okay, so if anyone asks you for something, be approachable. Okay, don't be like, oh no, this is not my job. Sometimes that helps, but not always. So try to be approachable, and yep, sync with the other team members. Okay. Third one is attention to detail. Yes, as a QA, you should have eye for details, right? What does that mean? That means that whatever you are testing, whatever you are is functionality your product, you should know about that product. You should know about that functionality. Okay, uh, and here the attention means how precise, or how you test in detail that thing, right? So for example, you said you test all the functionalities are fine, you say, oh, all the functionalities, but let's say there are certain text or some messages which are not correct. Okay, maybe there could be a spelling error, or maybe the format is not correct. So you pay attention to those things also, and communicate this thing to your managers. Okay, so these are important things here. Okay, so the more you pay attention to even these small things, it helps a lot. Okay, and it helps you as well as it helps your team, and then your users. Okay, so pay attention to details, guys. For this, adaptability, be adapt, right? Now what does adaptability mean? You should be flexible enough to adapt any new changes. Okay, because as a QA, or you say software testing, is an evolving field, right? As an evolving field, every now and then we see a new tool, framework. Okay, and let's say your team decide, your organization decide to go with some new tool. Maybe you are working with some A tool, and now your organization has decided to move on to some B. So be very flexible with that. Don't be rigid. No, I will not switch to new tool, or I will not learn new tool or new language, anything. And be flexible with that, because you have to. Otherwise, you slowly you will become obsolete. So be very flexible with them. Adapt those things. Okay. Second, adapt. Don't be rigid with the requirement. That no, once you get the requirement, you will not take any new. Be very rigid. Be a little flexible with them. Okay. Understand the your project scope and how the new requirement will help. Try to adapt with that those things. Okay. And yep, thriving in agile environment, fast paced sprint demands quick learning. Obviously in agile things goes very fast, so be very flexible with that. Like I said, don't be rigid. Okay, and yep, stay curious and proactive always. Don't be reactive in your approach. You should be always proactive in your approach. If you feel like any new requirement will can create a big impact, come to front and say it. Okay, say it to your team lead, say it to your manager, that this can impact all this thing, whatever things, and point and bring your thoughts on the table. Let them decide, but you should provide them the information. Okay, now the fifth one is critical thinking, and this is very important thing, guys, as a QA. Okay, because you should be able to think of the uh, not just the functional cases, okay, the trivial ones or the easy ones. Obviously everybody can test that, those things which we are seeing. But as a QA, how deep you can go into those things, okay, that is very important. uh, will you be able to identify the edge cases in your application, right? And let's say if something bad happens, if some issues onto the production or something breaks down, so are you able to do the RCA means root cause analysis, that why this happened, how could we, how could in future, how could you avoid those things. Okay, so you should be able to do these things, right? So that is what I meant with the critical thinking part here. And in some cases, even when you know your functionality very well, so when any new requirement comes in, you should tell beforehand that this new change would affect where it could go wrong. Okay, so you should be able to tell those things. Like for example, your team decide, the developer decide to change the format. So now you should be able to understand ki will that format be affect only the reports. Suppose there are multiple reports you have, or the pages, and they decide to change the format of those reports. Now you should be able to think if there are down, let's say those reports have download, PDF downloads and Excel downloads things. I mean they support those things. So you should be able to identify ki could this affect those PDF things. Will the PDF format be affected or the Excel format could be affected? So you should test those things also. Okay. So that's what critical thinking means. I mean, you should be able to think beforehand when the requirement comes, and you should be like, okay, they are changing this thing. Could this affect this, or those many things or not? You should be able to identify. Okay. And very important thing, guys, don't just ask about what, ask why also. Okay. Now, why it is important? Because whenever you ask about the reason behind anything, you are able to understand those things better. Okay, if there are any new changes coming, you should ask why are we doing this. Okay, if something goes wrong, why it goes wrong. Okay, why. Okay, so not just about ask what to do, what not to do, but also ask why. Okay, like, and be very clear about your requirement. If you don't understand anything, ask, don't hesitate. Okay, because the more you ask, the more you learn about your product, your functionality, the the better you will be in your testing. Okay, so don't just hesitate, don't just sit quiet. Okay, and ask, communicate. Okay, so that's it, guys. These are 5 things which I think should every QA should master, or should uh, sharpen their skills in this five in the on these skills, these soft skills. Okay, and yep, that's it. Now if you have any questions, please write in comments or provide your feedback, and I will see you in our next video, which I think we will talk more about technical aspects of the software testing and all those things. Okay, thank you, guys.